Today I'm going to be sharing my reading plans for October. My goals for this video are to make it quick because my camera battery's dying and all of them are dead and they're charging, and to not oversell because I had a lot of reading plans in September and I got to like half of them. I just have not been reading very much lately, but the good news is my September reading was pretty excellent. My wrap up will be live very soon. I have a couple new favorite books that I'm excited to tell you about. So it was a good month, even though I didn't read a ton. And October, I just want to approach with some mood reading. I definitely want to read some horror books because it's October, obviously, and we'll leave some of it up to fate and let my TBR jar give us some prompts to pull as well. Similar to last month, I'm going to be pulling just 3 prompts out of the jar since I'm reading a little bit less. So let's start with the prompts. Recent TBR edition, new author, and Everand audio. First, let's start with a recent TBR edition. I don't know if I'm gonna like either of these books. So I picked 2 for this prompt and maybe one of them will work out. Both of these are books that were recently sent to me by the publisher. There's The Hypocrite by Joe Hamya and Hot Wax by ML Rio. And this one came in really cool packaging. I also got a little pin with this, and it came in a box that looked like a vinyl record and it had a playlist associated with it too. It was super cool. I have not read from ML Rio, but I know she has that one dark academia book that's very popular, When We Were Villains, and then that book The Graveyard Shift came out last year or the year before. Didn't seem to get as positive reception. This is her newest book and it has something to do with music. Oh, and it also has some stickers. These stickers came with it as well. It's set in the summer of 1989, a vivid and immersive tale of one woman's reckless mission to make sense of the events that shattered her childhood and made her who she is. She was 10 years old when she was a witness to a desperate act of violence. She spends the next 29 years trying to disappear. Her father's sudden death resurrects the troubled past she tried so hard to bury. She leaves it all behind and hits the road in search of answers. So a road trip book around the country, drenched in knockdown, drag-out rock and roll, Hot Wax is a raucous, breakneck ride to hell and back where getting lost might be the only way to find yourself and save your soul. I am wildly unsure about this one. The other one, The Hypocrite, this one I have been interested in. It's also short and I feel like it's a good book to end off summer, which is I'm a little late on because, you know, it's October. But it's set in August of 2020. Sophia is a young playwright who is awaiting her father's verdict on her new show. He's a famous author whose novels haven't aged as gracefully as he might have hoped. He's completely unaware that the play centers around a vacation the two took years earlier to Italy where he dictated to her a new book. Sophia's play has been met with rave reviews, but her father hasn't read any of them. When the house lights dim, he understands that his daughter has laid him bare, has used the events of their summer to create an incisive, witty, skewering critique of the sexual mores of the men of his generation. Set over the course of one staging of the play, The Hypocrite seamlessly shifts time and perspective, illuminating an argument between a father and his daughter that with impeccable nuance examines the fraught inheritances each generation is left to contend with and the struggle to nurture empathy in a world changing at lightning speed. So I think this is more of a lit fic, and I haven't read a lit fic in a while and kind of in the mood for one. We'll see how these work out. For the new author prompt, in my mind, that can be a new author who has a debut novel or a new to me author. So I'm going with new to me author. I don't think that this is their debut, and that is The Mysterious Case of the Missing Crime Writer by Ragnar Jónsson. This is a Icelandic author. It says the #1 Icelandic bestseller, so I suppose this is not his first book. And it's a golden age style mystery. I have been really loving mysteries this year. I especially love a golden age style mystery. This is also an arc the publisher sent me. I think it came out at the end of September or the beginning of September. This one is set after one winter evening when a best-selling crime author goes missing. There are no clues to her disappearance, and it's up to young detective Helgi to crack the case before it's leaked to the press. As Helgi interviews the people closest to her, a publisher, an accountant, a retired judge, he realizes Ellen's life wasn't what it seemed. In fact, her past is even stranger than the fiction she wrote. As the case of the missing crime writer becomes more mysterious by the hour, Helgi must uncover the secrets of the writer's very unexpected life. And then for Everand audio, I like to keep this on here because I do have Everand available, formerly known as Scribd, if you have not heard Everand yet. And I like to listen to audiobooks on here when I can. So looking through some of the books I've saved, there's such a wide range of books on my saved list that I don't know what I'm going to be in the mood for, because with audiobooks, I've really got to be in the mood for them when I put them on. So I'll just name a few and I'll pick one of these. So one of the moods I'm in is that sort of lit thick messy people type of story, or just watching people go through their lives. I'm currently watching the show Girls for the first time. I never saw it when it was big back during the day, and I recently started it and I've been flying through it, and I'm in the mood for messy people in their 20s types of stories like that. And so I think one of these might be that. Perfume and Pain by Anna Dorn, or Evenings and Weekends by Oysen McKenna. I also have this book that has kind of a crazy cover, 0 Stars Do Not Recommend by MJ Wasmer, which I think is mystery slash romance slash apocalyptic, maybe just romance and apocalyptic. I remember reading the blurb for that and I was very intrigued by it, and I've never really heard any reviews of it. And so I like to try to pick up books like that sometimes. When I haven't heard anyone talk about it, I just read a blurb, it sounded interesting to me, go in with a fresh perspective. So maybe that one, or Penance by Eliza Clark has been on my radar for a while. Or a book I just added yesterday to my saved list in Everand is In Any Lifetime by Mark Guggenheim, which is like a speculative time travel type of story. So if any of those sound particularly good, or if you've read any of those and you think I would enjoy them, especially if you think they have a very good audiobook version and they'd be great to listen to, definitely let me know. So those are my 3 prompts, and next I will talk about some books that I'll be reading for book clubs in the month of October. The first to mention is I'm going to be joining my friend Jessie's book club. Her channel is Reading with Jess, and I've joined her for her book club a couple of times before, so I'm excited to be returning in October. And we're going to be reading the new Sarah Pinborough book, which is called We Live Here Now. This book came out in May, and I think it's a horror slash thriller book. I've read a couple books from Sarah Pinborough. I really liked Behind Her Eyes. I also liked Insomnia quite a bit, so I think this will be my 3rd from her, and I'm pretty sure I've read a short story or 2 of hers in some collections that I've read over the years. Surprisingly, I have not seen any opinions of this book somehow yet in all the months that it's been out, which is good. I like it that way. Its average rating on Goodreads is a 3.7, which is pretty good, and I'm expecting it to be a little weird probably because her books are a little weird. The blurb says, after an accident that nearly kills her, Emily and her husband Freddie move from London to a beautiful Dartmoor country house called Larkin Lodge. The house is gorgeous, striking, and to Emily, something about it feels deeply wrong. Old boards creak at night, fires extinguish, and books fall from the shelves, all of it stemming from the terrible presence she feels in the 3rd floor room. But these things happen only when Emily is alone, so are they happening at all? She's starting to believe the house is haunted by someone who had been murdered in it, even though she can find no evidence of a wrongful death. As bizarre events pile up and her marriage starts to crumble, Emily becomes obsessed with discovering the truth about Larkin Lodge, but just as the house has secrets, so do Emily and her husband. Dun dun dun. I'll put the details for the book club up on the screen, and I'll have Jessie's channel linked down below, so make sure you go subscribe to her, make sure you don't miss that live show. You can join us in October, read this book, and come hang out in the discussion. Another book I'm going to be reading for a book club in October is Cackle by Rachel Harrison. I'm going to be reading this for an in-person book club. I just started with a couple of friends. I read So Thirsty, the vampire book from Rachel Harrison. I think that was last year, and I really liked it. And I definitely want to read her new book, Play Nice. But before that, we're going to go back to one of her earlier ones and read Cackle. Seems like the perfect October read. It's a witchy story. Rachel Harrison writes these like cozy, humorous, dark, comedy style horror books, and I've heard so many great things about this book over the years, so I'm very excited to read this one. I think it'll be the perfect October read. I said we were going to keep it short and sweet, and I meant it. Those are all the books I'm going to leave planned for October because I just have not been reading at the pace that I was a couple of months ago, so I don't want to list out a ton of books that I'm never going to read. I still have some stuff I need to get caught up on from my September TBR. I've got some arcs that I would like to read. I have some stuff sitting on my shelves I would like to read, and I mostly just want to mood read because right now I am not sure what I want to read. I finished a book the other day and I haven't picked up anything new yet. I haven't like fallen into anything new. I've been starting a couple of things, but nothing's fully grabbed my attention. I don't know if I want a fantasy, a more serious book, a sillier book, a mystery, a romance. I can't really tell what it is I want right now, so I'm probably gonna have to just keep sampling things until something grips my attention, or try one of these books that came out of my prompts and see if those grab my attention. edition, it's just gonna be mood reading galore. But I'll show you what my possibility pile is. These are all the books that are kind of next up on my radar that I'm trying to get to. So again, if any of these stand out to you, if you recently read them and you love them, if you think I'm gonna love them, definitely let me know that down in the comments below. I desperately need help finding my next read, but I'm not that upset about it because like I said, September was a pretty good reading month. I had a lot of good reads. So I'm okay being a little bit in a slump right now. It's not a full slump. It's just like a, wow, I read so many great things. I don't know what's gonna be next. But that's it for me. Hopefully October brings some new favorite reads. Hopefully you have a good reading month ahead of you as well. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.